Good morning and welcome to the program Press Review. This is Friday, that's weekend edition of the program. I don't know when I just alone we fake one day Anambra, if they mena, we would die in Nigeria, couldn't wait on a cool house, still a month. Only cheats and he against Malo, Apple Pies in Aqua Codice, where when we be attacked, I keep over the Smith. MSCA, he gets a 081-190-55555.
More 0808-755-258. The Tabwa in contribution in Mania, or the Kenke, and also we're line. And today we are giving you the opportunity to be the analyst. Our callers will be the analyst for today.
And today's edition is a very special one. Yeah. Because we're going to invite a personality who is distinguished. He is the Vice Chairman, Employment, Labor and Productivity in the Senate.
Yeah, then member Trade and Investment, member Environment.
He is the member Finance Committee in the Senate.
Member Land and Housing.
Member Petroleum Resources, that's upstream.
And member Culture and Tourism.
Our guest today is Senator Victor Umeh
OFR. Yes.
I don't know.
No.
Distinguished Senator.
Good morning, listeners. You're welcome to this program.
That's your first time of coming in as a senator to this station. Remember the last time you came in Obanaka with Wabata?
Yeah.
Saying edition if you this where we won the election governorship.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we're saying big congratulations to you on your victory, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, just 1 week in the Senate. Just 1 week.
Yeah.
I took Imanuku being the first senator Afghani produced since its existence.
No, in Anambra State, really. First of all, I want to use this opportunity to thank our people, particularly the people of Anambra Central Senatorial District, for their patience while the litigation lasted that denied us 2 years of representation. When I was sworn in on the 18th of January into the Nigerian Senate, I addressed the press corps after the event. Told them that there is no loss that will be greater than loss of due process. If you don't follow due process in anything you do, you have the tendency of getting back to those things you wouldn't wish to happen in your society. So I want to commend the people of Anambra Central for being patient in allowing me to exhaust that legal struggle that ensured that those who pretended that they didn't know what the law provided for in the electoral process were punished. There's no sweeter punishment than to get somebody who runs into a house through a window to be kicked out for posterity. Because this issue of multiple candidates in Anambra State have been affecting our electoral processes very negatively in the past. The PDP had done it in every election, and the voters will put their hands in akimbo and say, what do we do? At the end of the day, they'll get away with it. So when they did it in 2015 again, I decided to fight it because I felt I was best positioned to fight it with the experience I've gathered in politics and in party administration.
Okay.
That was why we achieved these outstanding results. Our people weren't happy with what has been happening here, but nobody could fight it. So when I spearheaded it and achieved this result, it came with a huge relief to people of Anambra State. And you could see the way they celebrated the victories both at the courts in the main election and during my swearing in. Within short notice of less than 24 hours, Abuja got besieged by people from Anambra State. that the people at the National Assembly were wondering if I was coming to take over the Senate as the Senate President.
Okay, thank you very much,
so
sir.
I know we are very happy.
Okay.
So I commend them and I thank them for staying on, and we had to do what was right. Now, 7 days in the Senate.
We'll get to that, sir.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Okay, because
okay.
you're asking me about 7 days in the Senate.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get to that. But let's first of all go to absradiotv.com.
Okay, the first one from there says Obiano targets completion of 40 road projects before the end of the dry season. And then the state government is to complete the installation of street lights along the road leading from Igbariam Junction to Chukwuemeka University, Igbariam, within the next 2 months. Governor Willie Obiano disclosed this when he inspected construction work on the 5-kilometer St. Anthony of Padua Ring Road with spur to Ubuodo Odala, a K-Market Road in Igbariam. During the inspection, it was observed that the road, which was awarded late last year, has been cleared while earthwork and asphalting has been done.
Yeah, from what you've put out from absradio.com, I'm very happy that the governor is at work already. When we campaigned and asked for votes for him that will continue to do great works, I'm happy that within the first 3 weeks in January, the governor had set out to work again, inspecting projects and making promises of completing about 40 roads before the end of the dry season. I know he will do it. And by the time he delivers these 40 roads, the story will continue to get better. You know, the governor is desperate to do much more than he has done in his first term for the people of Anambra State. That's wonderful. Then on the resolution by the Anambra State House of Assembly, rejecting cattle colony in Anambra State, I commend that motion because they are being proactive. I think God has a purpose in creation. When God created Nigeria, you know, not by the geographical boundaries, God made certain things to thrive in certain parts of this land. In the north, cattle rearing was known to be a very good business in the olden days. In the south, or in the eastern region, we produced palm produce. You know, these are plants that thrived in the eastern region. In the west, cocoa did well in the west. And when we were growing up, we were taught geography, and we knew that cotton, hides and skin, you know, were produced in the north. They had groundnut pyramids, and these were the things that drove the economies of those regions at that time. At this time, I think it would be wrong for somebody to force his own agricultural practice on other areas. God has created these places to be comfortable for different activities. To begin to use migrant cattle rearing to do your business, you are trying to force what God asks you to do in your own area. You take it to another person's area, you know. So they should concentrate. Yes, they should concentrate in their own area. And as we feel well, sir, when I know the book, I will feel not their manner. But if you are as well, and I share, if you name off Manu Gausa, or by man, and if you are Nibo, you can wear. You didn't boy, you didn't talk. But if we bring like 1,000, 2,000, I remember. Oh, if an attack, to go call and move well, saving attack, like when they never will to pay the day. It's the kitchen, not one and yes, we have been like the one among yours or the coin. Oh, if I remember, I know Cogina, I know I'm an uncle, then we become man. All of that considered, the Yoruba Malaga and Akoko, Otru Jacka May to Ama. Now, emotional and the Anambra State House Assemblyman, Mamlumwe, Una Morobia, Breke Chusiamaga. They can do ranching. Yes, put the cattle in ranches. That's the way it is done everywhere. America is the largest producer of beef in the world. They don't do migrant cattle rearing. You know, from California, you start matching your cattle to New York. You stay in a ranch and rear your cattle, produce cattle meat, and export it to other parts of the country. We need cattle meat. So there's no reason why the government, instead of looking for things that bring trouble, going to disrupt activities in other places, will be crime. I mean, the violence that has followed it. The government of Nigeria should be thinking about how to create ranches in the north and establish meat processing industries in the north to process the beef and then export it to other parts of Nigeria or even outside the country. You can export beef to Europe and so on and so forth. So doing your private business and use it to run into somebody's territory and kill the people, you know, it's unacceptable. It's a practice that should not be accepted. So I commend that motion. We don't even have land in Anambra State. I never true side of it. So now I was able to ask you. But if you have another bar, I even in there. You want to sit in there. Never want to go on there. Zoba and I didn't know how to listen. I went to the kind of as when we're going to Fulani Igbo. And I even be there, everybody become our watching. Whenever even the career from our born, we have a talk, we have a no matter what Anambra State. Ovu was Ovu Yamanite, so they are those who go for Anambra State. They are one among the two. They have a Bacana oil colony and a pook here. A bomb on the corner watching. Even if you go even in the middle night, you will even at the bar on a culture game, even the cheat. So, although I put to call by it too. When you want to believe you, I have no better. If I buy other than by the gold, one kind of man buy other than I buy the gold. You blew kicking booger balls on the oil again as one more one. Eh? They are going to kill and kill all possibly. I cannot do civil foundation local compensation. There is no compensation for human life. There is no compensation. Even 2 million cows cannot compensate for one human life that is lost. God created animals, created birds, created everything in the world. The last thing God created was human being. And when God created human being, He gave human being authority over all His previous creations, including animals. So how can you, in the process of shepherding animal, rearing animal, is begin to destroy human lives? No, even one human life is much more important than 2 million cows. Life is sacred. So compensation is not something we need in this situation. What we need in this situation is government being proactive, knowing that life must be preserved at all costs, human life, you know. And this thing we're talking about, people marching their cattle from Sokoto to Benue, to Imo, to Abia, to Port Harcourt, it's not the practice. Because you're invading somebody's territory. When you march with your cattle, you are invading somebody's territory. So that the community may be sleeping, and the cattle herdsmen will arrive in the night with their cattle and begin to kill people. So that's why even when the discussion is mixed nationally, nobody knows who is doing it. They say these people are from outside Nigeria. But if you are carrying your cattle and somebody is sleeping, you watch into his territory in the night when the person is sleeping. Why should you go and bother somebody in sleep? Because you have come in with your cattle. So there may be other ulterior motives, you know, which nobody is properly addressing right now. You know, it's only when somebody is awake and maybe suddenly sees that you destroyed his farmland crop that he can begin to resist you. But you can't march into somebody's land and in his sleep you go and kill him and continue with their cattle. Your motive is different.
Okay.
So I think some people are trying to do something to promote a project, maybe takeover of Nigeria with some practices. Whether those people like it or not, you go and take them over, maybe force them to do what you are doing, whether they like it or not, and they expand their territory. This is about territorial expansion. You know, so people should stay in their places where, like for example, we don't even have land to give anybody, even 100 square meters, we don't have.
Thank you very much.
So I commend the motion, the government should understand this in this way.
Let's take some call.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, somebody is here. Let's see who's on the line. Hello.
Yeah. My name is Seth Magnus.
Okay, where are you calling us from?
Go on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
First of all, let me say a very good morning to the distinguished senator in the Chief Traffic Supervisor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning.
First of all, let me start with this morning that the unity of Nigeria is far more important than the life and properties of any Nigerian. So, and if you see, if you can read into this, you will find out that the activities of the solar investment has nothing to do with the unity of Nigeria. So it's not a very big threat to the federal government because it was not in any way bring this unity in this country. So that's why they are treating it with a big blow. Because I got services of the one of the members of the Anambra said that if it is like a Southeast center of nation, this and that. And people are going to just like just feeling Nigeria, which is not important. It's a privilege because as far as Nigeria is concerned, unity of Nigeria is the most important thing. Even if you like, you like them out, unity of Nigeria.
Okay.
You are free to feel.
Thank you very much, Badmus.
Alright,
Thank you very much for calling us.
Well, this is an interactive program, and I think that the insinuation that these things do not threaten national unity is a misconception. When there is a crisis in the country, and you are trying to force certain things on the people who do not want it, we are brooding trouble, you know. So all these things will go together to ensure that there is peace in the country. You don't force yourself on somebody and you say the unity of the country will be preserved. That's why I'm saying that everybody should engage in the things God has given the person comparative advantage. That's the way we say it in economics. That where you have comparative advantage, you concentrate your energy and efforts on those areas you have comparative advantage. You see, cattle rearing is a practice we've always known to be domiciled in the northern part of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yes, both hides and skin, you know, because there are so many things we produce from cattle. There's the hides, the skin, with which you even do shoe, manufacture shoe, the beef, you know, and several things. So if government had done enough over the years to support agricultural practice in the area of cattle rearing in the north, they would have been able to set up industries that will make use of things that you find in the cattle. You know, put industries in the north, so that when you produce your cattle, you can process meat from it and export to those who need it. You can carry the beef, you know. You don't need to match your cattle from Sokoto to Oka, for example, to sell it. And the process costs troubles all the way. So what we are looking for in Nigeria is a peaceful country. And the only way Nigeria can be peaceful and truly united will be when we begin to respect people for what they are. You do the things you can do ordinarily and make money. You know, when we're talking about the structuring of Nigeria, we've been talking about giving every part of Nigeria the opportunity to develop what God has given them.
Thank you.
You know, so when you develop what God has given you in His natural creation, you contribute what you earn from it to the center of Nigeria. That's how it is done. In America, there are states that are known for one kind of thing or the other. Silicon Valley computer is in the, you know, you go to California, they make computers, they do all kinds of things. You don't force somebody in New York, you know, to begin to produce computer. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the knowledge.
Okay.
So people should engage in the practices where they are endowed by God, and contribute from it to national wealth, to national development, to national growth.
Now, the song on everybody's lips now is the letter from the former President Obasanjo to Buhari. We will want to have your reaction to that, sir.
Well, Obasanjo is a Nigerian former head of state.
Yeah.
He was a military head of state. He was a two-term civilian president. And as a Nigerian, he has a right to comment on national issues the way he thinks. Then his views may not be the views of other people, but he has just, as a former head of state and former president of Nigeria, he had written a letter to the president, and he raised a number of issues, And I think what he should have done really would have been to send a letter to the president, And if the president fails to react to his letters in terms of changing his attitude to a number of issues he raised, he cannot go public, But he has gone public because it's a political season, And when things come up, there's what our people say in Igbo land: don't throw away a baby with the bathwater. You will first of all look at what issues Obasanjo raised and find out whether there are some good points he raised, and the person the letter was addressed to will be able to look at those issues he raised. They're in the public domain now. In fact, in Abuja, Obasanjo's letter to Buhari has now been mass-produced. Vendors are now selling the letter, 1,000. So when you come to a vendor's post, he will be hawking it, Obasanjo's letter to Buhari, and you give them 1,000, you take a copy, you go and read. So when you go and read, because I bought one, I've gone through the issues Obasanjo raised, let's separate the messenger from the message. When you separate the messenger from the message, you begin to look at the veracity of the issues he raised. One issue he raised was that the president is not strong in health. Nobody can deny or refute that fact that our president had been sick. Though he has recorded a tremendous improvement, he's now working. We're seeing him. He said he's advising him to take a rest. He's 74 years. That he needs rest. This one issue he raised in the letter. The other issue he spoke about was nepotism. He feels that things have been done without proper balancing across the country. He gave instances. So looking at what he said it to engender public discourse, and it's being discussed now. So he has achieved his target by releasing the letter. Every part of Nigeria they're interested in that letter. Both members of APC, surprisingly, are making statements supporting Obasanjo's position on a number of issues. He spoke about the menace of cattle herdsmen. Nobody can say that you're a cattle rearer, you go and kill 73 people. And every day, some parts of the country record killings through the activities of herdsmen. You cannot say that Obasanjo was wrong in saying that that issue needs to be drastically addressed by Mr. President, both in terms of condemnation and deployment of security forces to arrest it. These are migrant farmers. You see them working in groups. So you can really stop their movement. It's like ocean surge. When the ocean is threatening the settlements in Lagos, you begin to build barricades to stop ocean surge into the hinterland. So if the cattle headmen have a route through which they march down to the places we're having these conflicts, the first thing to do, even in military, is to cut them off. You stop them and restrict their downward movement. Do you understand? So you stop them from their moving downwards. The way you stop ocean surge. So if the government is incapacitated in stopping the movement of herdsmen downwards, then the issue is not being addressed properly. Because talking about the cattle colony as a solution to this menace is trying to encourage the migrant cattle rearing to any part of Nigeria as we want, instead of talking about building ranches in the north and confine them to areas where they can ply this their trade and export their beef.
Okay.
So that letter Obasanjo wrote, we'll leave it. Everybody will have his own impression of it and act with it.
There are some questions for you online from
yes.
Our viewers from absradiotv.com. We have one from Basil and Asoye. He says, sir, what is the fate of the National Conference resolutions? We need to see the clauses implemented before 2019 elections, and how do you intend actualizing this goal, working together with other senators? That's one. We have another one. Christopher Okoronkwo, what we need is nothing but, okay. Wow.
What did he say we need?
It's Biafra, nothing but Biafra.
Why didn't you say it? Yes, the title to say what it wants.
Why is it that all Igbo political men and women are not talking about Biafra, while FFK is every day talking about the restoration of Biafra openly? My question is this: does it mean that FFK is not a politician? From Arinze, the indubitable. Okay. Okay, maybe you react.
Okay, on the 2014 National Conference report, you know, I'm somebody who is consistent with my views until I'm proven wrong. When I was sworn in on the 18th of January, I addressed the Senate press call 2 hours after, and I'm sure you read it in the papers. I said that the 2014 National Conference report cannot be thrown away. Nobody can wish it away. If you throw it away, you're postponing the doomsday for Nigeria. You know, if you love Nigeria and want to preserve the unity of Nigeria, you must bring that report. Because all these things you are seeing going on in Nigeria now, we are dealt with comprehensively in the National Conference report of 2014. So as an agenda for me in the Senate, I openly call for the implementation of the 2014 National Conference report. It was reported in the papers. I have very great faith in that document, and I call it encyclopedia of Nigeria's problems, you know, because this was a conference that was attended by 492 eminent Nigerians, leaders across the country. Anybody that you could describe as being important in Nigeria was in that conference on the representation of his own people, even though it was federal government that made the selection. The governments contributed members, state governments contributed delegates.
Okay.
So that conference report will continue to search for a way to bring it up and discuss them and take very important critical resolutions contained in that report and give it effect. And if we do so, it will be better for everybody. So in the Senate, we'll continue to discuss these things. I'm very happy that when I arrived at the Senate, the senators received me with warmth, both the leadership of the Senate and the members in the Senate, because they know my views before I arrived in the Senate. When this Obasanjo letter came up, the person who came to my seat was Shehu Sani. He came and sat by me because he's a member of APC. He came to me to protest about something somebody said from my party. Why should that person say it? And you saw him on television, on Channel TV, supporting the letter. And he's a member of APC. So this Senate is not a Senate where you think people can just be pigeonholed into certain line of action. There are people who are there that have robust character, independent mind. Senator Ben Bruce came to me, you know. They come to my seat to ask me one thing or the other. So they know what I represent. By the time I settle down fully, we will get around and pull our efforts together to begin to insist that certain things must be done for the good of Nigeria.
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
good of Nigeria, not for any person, but for the good of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. We've had a lot of calls in the man that working with. But before we need to hear from Ndina around, not just online, just one person. Please, you have 30 seconds to talk. Good morning. On the man for 30 seconds. Okay, talk to us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Message taken down, so and just briefly, sir, because we're rounding off now.
Oh, really?
We're rounding off. Imana, oh my friend, Madi Ganipo. Sina, Nko Hamadi Kijelo, true Abga, Jere Summit, and Abga Anambra. Normally, 2019, or Choba Kobu president, Osina Abga, Jane another person.
Because unless we have a Wasserman. Senate in Devon, we not tie the bany. Na party a moment, the toll and that can afford. Never all and that can have to put my bola. Abga, what party I get you car corner. Well, look at them mad, Nani, you know. I know Abuja, they poop when they get into. They can say, well, if they go to my Senate later, so some never. I'm another woman, Dino Milaya. I don't know, Kokoroko, Victor. You will be hearing these things on the chamber. I'm the only one there. So they come around me because they know I have some views that I represent, and I represent a people that are leading a struggle, in this country. So, Abrakano, when I'm a days of president. I want to get president to know why we snap Gazria.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I care where I'm a man to phone to Indian and come out of the trouble is work. I finish senior when I'm even in 9. I back always in the band.
So, we're giving you 30 seconds to round off.
Yes.
You can end the band, then can end up okay. Makana, women asked no about chairman. Campaign, no, I have campaign manager. Get the balance, keep on keeping up. He can say, can end the band. 30 seconds.
I can't go back. It's only that book that I've seen somebody who is humble to appreciate what somebody has done for his own good. I was the chairman of his re-election and campaign committee. I did it because I was working for my party, and I worked for Akboko to be re-elected. I defended him passionately. Because if anything had happened to Akboko, Abga would have suffered.
Thank you.
So I worked for my party and we achieved the results. And in appreciation of the way I worked for him, I didn't sleep. He said during the flag off that he is now my campaign chairman. What I did for him is going to do for me.
2 seconds.
I was very happy with that. Then in the Senate, 1 week after, you've seen the committees they put me on. Some people who are in the Senate since 3 years became jealous of the committees that my name appeared on. And when I was campaigning to go to the Senate, some people were busy telling people in Anambra that when I go to the Senate, I'll be swallowed. Okay. I told them that it cannot happen.
Thank you.
Because when I met with the Senate leadership, I was trying to tell them about my CV. They told me, leave your CV. You are bigger than your CV. That was what the Senate leader told me.
Okay, thank
and look at the places they put me now, unsolicited. So more things will come. Okay. My assurance is that I'm going to use those opportunities given to me, both the committees I'm going to serve, to work for our people.
Thank you.
I'm going to look very deeply into activities in those areas and ensure that we'll get what we're entitled to.
Thank you, Senator Victor Umeh Omadike, for coming to me. Yes, and congratulations once again, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, stand by.